What's going on, y'all? J3 Reaper back at it with another reaction video. As we all know, Kingdom Hearts Missing Link has been missing. Kingdom Hearts 4, there's no news. We're dry. So, the man Cynical has something to say about the franchise. He says something strange going on. The turkey god Jared is gonna fill us in right here, right now.
Alright guys, welcome back to another one. In today's video, we've got something pretty interesting, pretty strange, and something that's not great for the preservation of a certain Kingdom Hearts title. In fact, two Kingdom Hearts titles, albeit perhaps these titles aren't exactly the most favorable of the Kingdom Hearts franchise. They're still important nonetheless, and incredibly crucial to that of the future of Kingdom Hearts, looking at this next coming saga with Kingdom Hearts 4. A couple of days ago, Kingdom Hearts Union Cross and Dark Road was mysteriously removed from all app stores. This means that no one can go onto the App Store and download these apps. Now, some of you guys might be wondering, well, does it really matter? I mean, the service has ended for both of those games, so is there really any point in having them readily available on both the Google Play and iOS App Store? Well, in fact, there is. Both of these games were turned into offline versions. For Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, you could play that game in full from start to finish. For Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, the majority of that game was taken offline, but you could still access the game's theater mode, meaning that if you wanted to experience the game's story, you could, with the absolute ridiculous amount of filler it contains. This is the issue with live service games. Even if they do get offline modes, live service games eventually turn into unalive service games. Of course, there are some people out there that still have the app downloaded on their phone, and by some means will be able to actually preserve all of the data that's included across the game, but by official means, this is not great. This is the major issue with games that are only digitally available with no physical preservation. Of course, looking at the future of gaming, it's meant to be an all-digital future, which is honestly scary. Apparently, video game analysts and forecasters believe that physical video games is only going to last for another generation. There is word out there, though, that Nintendo will seek to preserve games physically beyond that of another generation. But eventually, like, let's say 30 years' time, yeah, we're probably looking at an all-digital future. Talking about this makes me feel like some ancient dude reminiscing about the good old times and how I can't handle things changing, but I mean, it's true, this is a major issue, and yeah, with Kingdom Hearts Dark Road and Union Cross, this game is just no longer accessible, a vital part of the Kingdom Hearts narrative. The only means of being able to access this now is looking at cutscenes on YouTube. However, this is curious. Like, why would Square Enix go to the trouble of making offline versions for both of these games if they only plan to remove them a few years later? It was never mentioned in the service announcement that these offline versions would eventually be removed, so why mysteriously now, especially with no official announcement of doing so? This raises a few questions. The first one is, if Square Enix have now removed this, does this mean that they actually do plan on doing a proper remake of at least looking at Union Cross? That is,
see, at least really do that, because see, I'm gonna pause the video. Look, we need playable versions, console versions of these mobile games. I ain't played half of Dark Road or Union Cross. Like, I went to sleep, bro.
There is a few things there in Dark Road that is also pretty important to the future of Kingdom Hearts, but if they do plan to remake Union Cross without all of the useless filler and only explaining the important bits, I'm sure they could throw some of the context of Dark Road and important parts into that of a UX remake. Even if it's just a simple remake like they did with the Days and Recoded remastered cinematics for the HD remixes, that's fine. That's still a means of people being able to experience the story. And because Union Cross was a service that ran for about 6 years, there's a lot of story to absorb. We've said it for many years, but the most needed remake of any Kingdom Hearts game, not Days, not Recoded, is in fact Union Cross, because it's so critical to the future of the Kingdom Hearts series. At this point, because there's no official means of being able to now absorb this important story, it, I think, is absolutely necessary for Square Enix to remake this game. I've seen some speculation floating around with Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, saying that, well, perhaps maybe they plan on doing a bit of a recap type of thing with UX within Missing Link that you experience
That would be
before you
fire.
start the game, or you can read up on some of the important parts of UX in ML. But like, no, that's just not good enough. Like, we saw some of the recaps of the older Kingdom Hearts games that are included in the, I think it's like the memory archive section of Kingdom Hearts 3 that goes over the entire story before you dive into KH3. For people that were using KH3 as their very first Kingdom Hearts game, that's still a fine means of getting the basic gist of the story down, but again, because Union Cross was a 6-year-long service, no, the full game with all of those important bits needs to be readily available. And yeah, there might be some kind of UX recap that will be in ML. I think that's sort of necessary, but still, the full game needs to be accessible somewhere, somehow. And I don't think they're going to chuck all of those cutscenes or remake those into Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. Absolutely not. I find it interesting that this is happening just before September comes around, because of course we know that the Tokyo Game Show is towards the end of September. Perhaps Square are gearing up to maybe announce something. The way I look at it though is because these were offline versions, there's just zero reason to remove these. Like, why? They're no longer receiving service updates, there's no labor that needs to be done from the developers themselves, so what is the actual point of removing the app from these app stores? The only reason I can think of is a remake of the game, where there's zero reason to have that original version still available. And it wouldn't be a case of, well, the original is the definitive and you can't beat the original, because, like, if we got a remake of Union Cross, it would 100% be the definitive version of the game. I don't think anyone would miss the original version of Union Cross if we were to get a remake. For anyone that's got Union Cross still downloaded on their phone, congratulations, you'll still be able to access it, and you've got a piece of Kingdom Hearts history on your phone. For me, I ended up deleting it many years ago, even before the offline version came out. I love the story of both of those games, but I was never really a big fan of how they actually played, so yeah. People should also keep in mind too, though, that this is going to inevitably happen with Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. I did a video earlier this year just talking about how people should be a little bit careful about Missing Link. I know people spend a lot of money on Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, mainly because the premium currencies within that game and how the gacha system work, being a little bit aggressive, meant that people just spent a lot of money. This is just the nature of gacha-related games, but you know that the money that you're spending into these services will eventually count for nothing other than the enjoyment you got out of spending that money at the given time. Missing
Square
Link
just
will
took
be
our
available
money.
for a few years, but
All those
eventually
metal
that
pools.
service will end, and even if they make an offline version, that game will eventually be deleted. So, some pretty odd Kingdom Hearts news. No one was expecting this whatsoever. So, as they say, anything digital generally doesn't remain. So, again, it's that whole thing of, oh, curse the digital whippersnappers and their digital pixels and megabytes. It's the preservation! Be sure to leave your thoughts about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to know. Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning in to today.
Yeah, man. It's not looking good. The mobile side of Square Enix is not looking good right now. Where is Missing Link? We want our game. But anyways, Square Enix fans, Disney fans, appreciate you watching. And I will see y'all in the next one. Reaper Nation, we out.